Chicago Bears now, mailbag time. I'm Harrison Graham, kicking things off with Bears Addict. Man, recently probably not a great addiction, but that's about to change, Bears Addict, because this team's going to be good. Who's a player we're not talking nearly enough about? Okay, I got a few guys that, maybe sleeper's not the perfect word, but I think these are 5 players that can at least contribute, if not play, big roles. Jacob Martin. Eric Washington's talked about him a lot, called him a 3-down player. I'm not sold that he could be, but at this point in time, he would certainly get a lot of snaps at edge, it would appear. Tyrique Stevenson says he has a goal of being an all-pro this year. I thought he was the best rookie corner the second half of last season, the final 8 games in particular. I thought he played excellent. He's got that dog mentality. DeAndre Swift, you've seen his pass-catching ability in camp. Even though he's a starter, I still feel like he's not getting talked about enough. Like somehow a starting running back on a team that's supposed to be pretty good has been under-talked about. I think that's definitely the case. Gerald Everett, I think he sneakily is going to be a good weapon for this team. He's just buried behind so many bigger names, but we know what he can bring to the table. And Jack Sanborn, the luxury that he is as your number 3 linebacker. He'd start for a lot of teams, and obviously in base sets he's out there, but in nickel he kind of rotates in behind Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards. Almost had a pick 6 the other day in practice. He brings a lot to the table. Who do you think is the biggest Bears sleeper this year? If you had to drop one name, who's someone we just have not discussed? Little bonus, by the way, Ian Wheeler, UDFA running back out of Howard. If you had to drop a name, let me know who it is. Alex Castro, do you think Carolina's second-round pick next year for a pass rush, and who do you think that would get us? Yeah, I mean, like a trade deadline deal, certainly a possibility. Having 2 second-round picks gives you more ammunition if you need to make a big move. If Matt Judon's having a hell of a year for New England, but they're trying to sell high, that could be potential value there. He's over 30, so like right now I wouldn't give up a second, but if he has 7-8 sacks by the deadline, that price could go up. Is a guy like Trey Hendrickson going to be available? Certainly depends on if Cincinnati's having a good year or not. Jonathan Allen with Washington. Second feels rich, but the extra capital certainly helps. What about a guy like Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack? If the Chargers look like a team that's not ready to contend, they may look to flip one of those veteran pass rushers. So, I think those are a few names to keep in mind. I doubt it would happen, but would you trade that pick plus your first if the Raiders are having a disastrous year and Max Crosby became available? Be a huge package, first and a second, but I mean, listen, he's one of the best in the business. So having 2 twos is really helpful if you're trying to make trades. DC Viper, do you think DJ or Rome is likely to break the Bear all-time receiving record? It's a good question. I think the safer pick, well, I don't know. The number's 5,000-something yards, which is embarrassing, but that's what it is. Johnny Morris. DJ is already at 1,364 after 1 year. So, if he has 4 more good years, he's basically 3 more good years, he's basically surpassed that. I might actually go Rome, though, man. I think DJ could pass it first and probably will because he's going to get at least 1 more contract with this team. But if Rome hits, you've got him for probably 10, 12 years, and if he averages 1,000 yards a season once he hits his prime, he could double the record for this franchise. So, yeah, I think the answer actually is both. I think both are at least somewhat likely to do that. All right, our next milestone is 95,000 subscribers. We've kind of been creeping up towards it. I want us to kick that MFing door down today and get to 95,000 subs. I'd love to make it happen right now. Let's get there because then the real countdown to 100K begins. So if you want daily Bears content for free, hit that subscribe button, and these mailbags are on every live show, Monday and Thursday, so be sure to join us for those. Trump, would you sign Yannick and trade him at a third at the deadline for Matt Judon? Well, I don't think signing a guy in August to trade him a few months later is A, very likely, or B, really a strategy. I don't think signing Ngakoue and flipping him, A, really has that much value to begin with. If he had value, he'd be on a team already. Now, could it be a third and something else, or just a third? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think the Patriots would even want Yannick Ngakoue in that scenario, if I'm being completely honest. All right, today's show sponsored by Rocket Money. Guys, start saving money. Stop wasting money. And what you can do is cancel any unnecessary subscriptions that you may have with Rocket Money. They make it very, very easy. And most people think they're spending, $50, $60, $70 on subscriptions per month. A decent amount, but nothing crazy. The reality is you're probably spending closer to $300 per month. Don't believe me? Download the Rocket Money app, sync up your bank account, and see all the subscriptions on one screen and see how much they cost. What's also cool with Rocket Money is they will help you negotiate to lower your bills. They can show you competitors where you can find a better price on your cell phone service, your insurance companies, your providers at your house with home bills like electricity and internet and stuff like that. Rocket Money does it all, and it's absolutely fantastic. And check this stat out. They have over 5 million users and have saved over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. And also, on average, people can save up to $740 per year, which is absolutely fantastic if you maximize the usage of Rocket Money's features. So check them out today. And just in general, even if you're not looking to cancel subscriptions, you can just kind of monitor your spending, right? It's much more user-friendly than a lot of the typical banking apps that you probably have. It's just simple. Stay on top of your credit score. Set budgets. There's so much you can do. RocketMoney.com/Bears. Now, link's going to be in the comments and in the description. Get started today. Start saving money with Rocket Money. All right, keep this thing rolling. The Notcast, could Tyrique Stevenson become, Tyler Scott, I guess, become wide receiver 1, 2, or 3? Caleb seems to like him. He does not have a skill set, in my opinion, to be a number 1 receiver in this league. I think his ceiling is a number 2. And I think a realistic place you want him to get to is to be a number 3. Why? Well, because Keenan Allen's on a 1-year deal right now. If Tyler Scott shows enough flash this year as a number 4, then you probably let Keenan Allen go in free agency. He'll sign a big deal elsewhere. You play the comp pick formula game, get a 4th, get a 5th back for a future draft. And then you roll with DJ as your 1, Rome as your 2, and Tyler Scott as your 3. Like, if Tyler Scott becomes your number 3 receiver long term, I think you're pretty happy with that. So, he's not a 1. I doubt he becomes a 2. But is a 3 in reach? I think so. He's a burner. He can get downfield, pretty good route runner. Occasional drops, but he does seem to connect with Caleb Williams. They've connected on several downfield throws. King Towers, what stats Brisker need to be all-pro? I don't know, over 100 tackles, over 5 takeaways. It's tough to be an all-pro, man. It really is. A lot of good safeties in this league. Something he can do that a lot of safeties can't is rack up some sacks as well. Can he go 5 picks, 5 sacks? If he pulled that off, that would speak volumes, especially if this defense is good and they're a playoff team, because it's a lot of it too. If you're racking up stats and you're on a 5-win team, you're probably not going to be an all-pro. But if he has 5 picks and 5 sacks and over 100 tackles, he absolutely could be. And hey, it all starts on Thursday. Bears, Texans, football is back, kind of. For us, it's absolutely back. Hall of Fame game, baby. Who's ready for that game and who's ready for our Bears Now watch party, because we'll be live for the entire game? Type me in the comment section down below. Dark Cobra, who do you think is going to have the most sacks besides Montez? Right now, I would say it's between 2 people. I would say Trevon Dexter and DeMarcus Walker. DeMarcus Walker 2 years ago had 7 or 8 sacks with Tennessee. The other day, he said last year he played at about 75% health, just wasn't that healthy all year. Who knows how accurate that is, but had a bit of a down year. I think he had 2.5 sacks. So I think he certainly could get above that 5-sack mark again, which might be second best on the team. Who knows? But I think Dexter or Walker right now is who I would go with. If there's additions to this roster, that could certainly change. Denny Edquist Jr., who is your Mount Rushmore of Chicago Bears greats? I'll give you my list because, these may not be necessarily the 4 best pure players in Bears history, but I got to go with the guy I watched the most as a kid, Devin Hester, favorite player as a kid growing up. I'll throw Urlacher on there too. I'll go, obviously, Walter Payton. I didn't get to watch him, but I'm obviously going to put him on the Mount Rushmore. And then I think it gets interesting after that. Gale Sayers, do you go Mike Ditka? Do you go Dick Butkus? I feel like Butkus is the answer. Singletary. I mean, there's a ton of guys to choose from. I'll go Butkus, but there's plenty of options you could certainly choose from. Matt Nagy in the chat says Matt Nagy. He didn't quite make the list. Jaron Thomas, why didn't you have the Italian beef sandwich at Portillo's dip with mozzarella cheese and sweet peppers? Okay, Jaron. A couple people asked me this. This is why, Jaron. Number one, not a huge peppers guy. I will try it in the future. Don't crucify me. Number two, I told the guy at the counter, this is my first time. How should I order this? And he recommended doing the gravy on the side. Now, the gravy's excellent, so I'll definitely have it. I'll do the dipped, whatever they call it, next time. But it was awesome, man. The Italian beef was delicious. I will be back. I can't wait to go back. But that's the reason why, Jaron Thomas. That is why. All right, appreciate everybody for tuning in to Chicago Bears Now. If we didn't get to your question, that's okay. Hit me up at HGramNFL. Don't be shy, and we will answer your questions soon.